What's up, beautiful people? In this video, I'm gonna show you how to prepare your ground if you are looking to grow in the ground, okay? I'm trying something new, I'm trying something different, so definitely I'm here for the support, okay? But let's go ahead and get into it. What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up With the Joneses. 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 What's up, beautiful people? It's me, Ricky Jones Jr., back again for another video. And like I said, I am now about to try to grow in the ground. It's funny because I've been gardening for years now, and this is one technique in which I have avoided, largely because I don't know, I just felt like I just like to control certain things. So doing raised beds was the way I started. Then going to grow bags is what I did from there. Then trying aeroponics, now doing aquaponics. Now I'm about to go into the ground. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you all are on the journey with me, and I appreciate that for you all doing that with me. So I'm gonna look to give you all some information in which I've researched and read on and now feel comfortable in doing it myself. And so let me even show you all different changes that I've made in the backyard to do this. So I will say this kind of spawned because of the chicken coop in the backyard. I'm now back here more than I am in the front yard, and so I just been looking at different things back here, and I'm like, man, I could do things differently. And so this area is where I had my grow bags in the situation where I had the little reservoir scenario. There's a video for that. Boom, you just saw that. But nonetheless, now I'm opening this area because I want to garden in the ground here, in which I do have some of my grow bags here, which I did this here netting system to help protect from the leaves and things like that. And so this has been working out quite well, and I can absolutely add some more grow bags in between the little open spaces and things like that. I've now added this here grow bag area where I have my compost bin at. I do have some grow bags that I just kind of put over here, but then I have some that I have some things growing in, some kale, obviously, some marigolds, some that's pineapple sage. I have what may look like a cabbage but anyway, and some rosemary. But nonetheless, I have this area for gardening and things like that. But then I also have this fruit area where I have an avocado tree, papaya tree, banana tree, and then I have this here mango tree, which some mangoes are growing. I need to go ahead and protect these before somebody else sees them and says I want to eat them. So having all of these different sections has now said to me, okay, Ricky, it's now time to try to grow into the ground, in which I was going to try this area right here, but I was like, it's kind of barren, or maybe because of all the leaves, but I don't know. I felt like this wasn't the right spot. So I feel like this is going to be the place in which we're going to start off growing into the ground. And obviously I'm going to do some fun things with that. I'm going to try to do something beautiful and not just functional, but something that looks pleasingly aesthetic or aesthetically pleasing and you know, take you along that journey. So first things first, we have to prep the ground, and let me show you what we're going to do. All right, great people, so we're gonna start off by raking the leaves. Okay, as you can see, I have so many leaves on the ground. Maybe you can or maybe you can't, but I have this huge oak tree that is above the area in which I am doing this in, and it of course drops so many leaves. And so what you want to do is make sure the space is cleared out. You don't want anything that will choke out the ground or the area in which you will look to garden and or grow. So just make sure any debris is out of the way. I've also used this area as well for various things. So there may be some nails, there may be some wood pieces, there may be some paper, plastic, or whatever, whatnot. I even had a piece of glass that was in this area, which is very odd, and even rocks. And so, you know, what the idea is just to make sure everything is nice and cleared out, okay? And so having a nice rake is going to do just that, getting those fine particles and things like that out of the way so that you can have a nice, clean and clear ground, barren ground that you'll be able to work with, okay? Just think of it like a nice, clean canvas for a painter to be able to paint. Essentially, you are painting in the ground with seeds, okay? And so the cool thing that I just did there was that I had some worms that I, while raking up, saw, and with having chickens around, hey, I was just able to throw it in a coop, and the chickens were able to do what they needed to do, which was have a nice little snack. So again, another reason why chickens are also valuable and great in the garden, because nothing has to go to waste, right? And so anyway, we just gonna continue on with the raking scenario, just making sure everything is nice and clean. As you may be able to see at the bottom there's like that crawling grass, that I don't even call it grass, crawling weed, and that thing is not what you want in your garden area. So do make sure that you pull those out as often as you see them and as much as possible, because those things spread, those things grow, but you don't want them around because they will choke out your plants and things like that. So even what I'm doing there is pulling out the weeds, okay? Because just raking the area does good, but then pulling out the weeds from the root does it better, right? And so that's what I'm doing. That's what you want to do as well when you're growing in the garden, or excuse me, growing in the ground. Make sure you pull the weeds up from the root. Just getting it from the top is not going to do anything. It's just going to temporarily disable what you see, but it won't stop or block any future growth, okay? So pull them up and you'll be happy that you did so. So here I am pulling this up as well, because you can't even rake it up. Like, this thing is just deadly. And I even as well not only just pull those things to the side, but I also throw those away. And I separate the weeds from the leaves because I do save the leaves for leaf compost, which is being able to use next year. And so making sure the weeds are separate will be able to allow for you to have what you need, but then throw away what you don't, okay? And so do make sure you do have 2 different piles as well. So a little side note. And pulling out the weeds from the root is what you see me doing here, which is what you'll be doing as well. But then, of course, just making sure everything is nice and clear, largely because our next step is going to help as well to solidify what we look to have, which is a nice clean area, okay? So I'm just, looking at different things. There was a rock right there, and that rock was definitely much bigger than I thought it was, so it stayed. But from here now, I bring in the lawnmower, and the lawnmower is here just to make sure everything is nice and low as possible. I have the setting on 1, so I'm just going over the ground, just making sure, like I said, what's there is low, so that the different weeds and things like that I can pull out and or cover, which I'm doing now. Just now going along the edge, making sure the border is there, so I know the exact area that I'm working within, making sure the border is solidified, and then I can work in the middle is what I was going for in this here scenario and situation. And so cardboard is the way. Cardboard is a nice eco-friendly way to block out the weeds, because with the weeds being blocked out, you don't have to worry about them growing back again, but then allowing for your space to be nice and barren, which is ultimately what you want. Remember, clean canvas is what we want. Clean canvas is what we want. Put in the comment section, clean canvas. But nonetheless, with it all, we're going to use as much cardboard as we have in this scenario, but I didn't have enough. Oh boy, as you can see, you have to be a little bit more resourceful when you run out of certain things, so I use a little bit of everything for this space. But honestly, I'm also excited because this is so much square feet. If I was just to throw out a number, I would probably say this is probably, I don't know, I'm not even gonna try. Probably 15 by 10, so 150. Yeah, no, wait, 15, anyway. Yeah, 150 feet. But nonetheless, with the all, we have so much space now. As I talked about, we have this covered because we want to make sure to go ahead and kill the weeds and things like that that have already grown and things like that, which is why we did the lawnmower scenario over them. So now we're just gonna choke these bad boys out, let a few days, even weeks. Honestly, you can let a couple of weeks go by and just make sure everything is nice and dead before you come out here and plant, which gives us time to map out what the orientation and things will look like and how things will be. And but then it just gives me time as well to go ahead and get some seedlings going, because now I have so much more area to grow in and garden in. So I am obviously also excited about what will take place here, and definitely when I do plant, I'll add some amendments such as my worm castings and other fertilizers and things like that. So don't fret, don't worry, all those things will be added to this here area as and when necessary, most certainly when we garden, when we grow certain things. So with the chicks over there, I definitely have their poop as fertilizer that can be and will be used. But then outside of what they produce, obviously we have some other things, the bone meals, the sustains, the worm castings, and the list goes on. So with it all, in it all, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you get things started. This is how things should look in the beginning phases. Like I said, no less than 2 weeks. Really, you want to allow for this to do what it needs to do, so it can kill out those weeds and plants and things like that that were already there that you don't want to be there, because you have some new things that you want to put there, and then we will garden and grow from here, okay? So with that being said, great people, I love you all. I appreciate you all. I'm always appreciative and thankful for you all because it's because of you. I honestly will say it's because of you that I am pushed to do the various videos and things that I do. Shouts out to you, Mr. Larry, and the list goes on, for encouraging me and saying, man, how you did it again. I'm so excited about the video and the content that you put out. Well, it's because of you all, ladies and gentlemen. You push me to think further and to not be lazy and stagnant, but to actually do the different things that I want to do. But you know, I'll just talk myself out sometimes. We know how it goes. We'll both talk ourselves out of things, and we'll all talk ourselves out of things. But nonetheless, in it all, with it all, we have now some ground to grow in, great people. And I'm also excited about it, largely because it's shaded, so it won't be getting such a strong amount of sun, which the front yard garden is, which I believe is the downfall to the front yard garden. And so, you know, we'll be able to go and do and grow some things that we want to grow. So I'm excited, obviously, and so I'm excited to bring you all on the journey. So make sure you click that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, all that fun stuff, all that good stuff. If you loved what you saw today, and click that thumbs up, that thing does help as well. So with that being said, great people, I love you all. I appreciate you all, and as always, I will see you in the next video. And until then, and with that all, make sure you have happy living, happy gardening, which will lead to a happy belly. Okay, great people, love you. Peace.